Life has a way of throwing battles to us that we never trained for, and somehow we find the courage to fight. And sometimes we win, and other times we may not win. In Nigeria today, breast cancer is the most common cancer amongst women, and every year, thousands face the reality without enough awareness, without enough support, and without early detection. But behind every statistic is a story of courage, a story of pain, and a story of power. This podcast is suitable for students between the ages of 16 to 25. If you're interested in self improvement, productivity, study tips, this is the podcast for you.
Welcome to the Sweet and Sour Podcast.
My name is Abdulmumuni Hikmat. I'm a student just like you. I'm passionate about personal development and productivity. So, if this is your first time listening to this amazing voice, don't make it your last. If not, sweetie, you know how we roll now.
Let me hear you say H to the I to the Q, to the M to the A and the T. H to the I to the Q, to the M to the A and the T. H to the I to the Q, to the M to the A and the T.
Aisha. I'm sure you guys missed me on Twitter. Sorry. Hikmat is responsible for keeping me away from you guys. So today we're having a continuation episode. We're talking about a very quite heavy topic. And we have a guest who I'm honored to be in her presence today. She's going to be doing us the honor of taking us through our journey and her story. And we're going to be hearing from her now. Good afternoon, Ma.
Good afternoon.
Okay, well, can you introduce yourself for our audience? Your name, what you do, what you like? Just let them get to know you.
My name is Victoria Obanachi. I'm an entrepreneur by profession. I can't really say what I like exactly because my principle is live by the day and for the moment. Because no one knows the next moment. It's in God's hands. So I like what I see at the moment and I do what I do at the moment, leaving the rest, the unknown, for whatever comes on.
Kim, I think that's a very interesting place to start because you're talking about living for the moment. I want you to take us through your journey of being diagnosed with breast cancer. And I want to ask you first before we start that this is your philosophy of saying you live by the moment. Was this you before or is this you after? Is this something that came with the disease or with the illness or has this always been how you live life?
It has always been my principle. I don't bother myself about things that are unknown. I only live by the moment, and that has graciously helped me through surviving the cancer because when you talk about cancer, it's unknown. Though the diagnosis is there, but the next moment, everything about cancer is unknown. So it's that principle from before the diagnosis that has helped me to. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019. Though the journey started in 2018 when I went for tests, normally in February, the World Cancer Day. So I saw an advert on Google about getting tested in just to check the breast. So that was in Lagos then. The venue was looked. So I decided to register online and then I went. That was how the doctors now discovered the lump and then they asked me to go for that testing. So far, I'm still in the journey. And I'm great.
Thanks for your great. So how many years from now are we talking about? How many years ago was that?
This is a 60 year. This is a 60 year. Though I didn't start the treatment immediately because I was weighing options. After because the diagnosis had to take a lot of steps because we don't have the machines in Nigeria that will just give you the results immediately. Some result takes 3 months, some you have to stay on queue, it might take 6 months. So it's not just it's not something that you just say, okay, this is cancer, or you have to just get it. No, it started with the breast examination, like I said, during the World Cancer Day, February 2018. So from that time, and then I had to go for um, breast scan. So after the breast scan, it took a while for the test result to come out because people were meaning. So after the breast scan, I was scheduled for mammogram. Then from mammogram, the substance that was taken from the breast that had an issue has to go through some testing processes also, which took months. So eventually the result came out May 2019. So that is a whole year. From February, yes, 2018 to 2019. And as I was going through those processes, the cancer kept growing because when it starts like that, you cannot have any treatment until everything is certain, because the histology, immunotherapy, is what determines the type of treatment. So, and you can't get that done easily. You cannot jump to it. It's a whole lot of process. You have to go through it, and it takes time.
So now, from the time you were diagnosed, from the time you went for that breast examination on World Cancer Day in February 2018, did you have any feeling going there that that was the result you were going to have? Was there anything that made you say, let me just go for this thing? It was just random. You just decided, let me just go. You had not felt, have you done breast exams for yourself before? Had you suspected anything? Or it was just random and unexpected?
I suspected I had a lump on my breast, but before that time, I I know about cancer, but not much, especially breast cancer. What I usually think before that time was that breast cancer is for women with big breasts, and my breasts were small, so it didn't occur to me that maybe something like that. But though I saw the lump, and the lump dated back to 2002 when I had my second child, which means my hormones became imbalanced when I was pregnant at that time with her. So that was when the changes happened, and then the lump developed. But in 2002, as I there, I don't know anything about cancer. I don't even know anything. And I didn't ask anyone, but I noticed there was a lump in my breast, and at that time the lump kept moving around the body. Sometimes I would see it in my stomach, sometimes on the breast, sometimes on the chest. So at that time, it is now that I understand that at that time it was looking for where to settle in 2002 until it got a place to the breast. So I just don't understand, but I noticed long after I had my last child in 2002, and it now developed into cancer in 2018. So it's a long time. So if I had known, it wouldn't have gotten to that extent.
So for a while you had a feeling that something was going on, but you could not really put it
Yes, I
together.
could not really put it out. And I think the medical system also failed me, because I had my two children in the hospital. I started everything from the start till birth. Everything was in the hospital, but nobody said anything about cancer. I didn't even know about pap smear. I never heard about it throughout, because I had my first child in 1999 and then the second in 2002. I never heard anything about pap smear until 2014, when I had to go for, I was feeling so, I said, okay, maybe let me check if it is fibroid. That was when I was told at the diagnostic center if I had a pap smear. I was asking them, what is pap smear? So this is a wake-up call that in the medical system of Nigeria, the gynae clinic should include compulsory pap smear for all pregnant women.
So it seems like you've had a lot of experiences with the healthcare system. And we'll get to that. I want to ask you about your journey with cancer. So you said for that year, no treatment was going on at all.
Yes, no treatment for one full year. It was all diagnosis. From one diagnostic center to the other, one test to the other.
So they did not, nobody told you that really it might be cancer until that result came out.
Until after 1 year, yes.
And can you tell me what the journey looked like after the result?
Well, at that point, based on my principle, I already made up my mind. Whatever the result is, I will accept it. If it is cancer, fine. If it is not, it's still fine. So there was no hard feeling about it. And the day I got the results, it was like a normal day for me. I didn't feel any remorse. I didn't cry. All my thought was to survive it. That was just it. How do I survive it? How do I get the funds? Because I learned cancer treatment is really expensive. How do I start? When is it going to end? Because it's a journey on its own. It's a life journey. Once you have been diagnosed with cancer, it's a life journey. Your life never get back to what it used to be before the diagnosis. You have to live with it at the moment, and then you plan the future so it doesn't come back even after the treatment.
Okay. So I want to ask you about your treatment. How did that go?
Initially, in 2019, when I got to Lut, I met the consultants. We discussed about it when they told me about possible types of treatment that were available. At that time, the doctors were insisting on surgery for a start. But then I have to have a 4 chemo, after 4 chemo, to shrink the lumps before the surgery. So, and the day I was diagnosed with the breast cancer, I told myself, I said, I'm not going to cut my breast. I came to this world with 2 breasts, and I'm going to leave this world with 2 breasts by God's grace. Whatever it takes to fight it, I will do it. So when the doctor kept saying chemo first before surgery, I wasn't convinced. So I asked her, you say chemo? She said yes. I said, tell me about this chemo. Is it that there is a peculiar or specific medication for my prognosis or diagnosis that we just target it and then we go on with the treatment? She said no. I said, I want more information. She was reluctant. Then she said, we're going to use the meds, that's the medicine for the chemo. Once we start the chemo, if my body accepts the treatment, we'll continue. If it doesn't, we change the type of medicine. And then I said, I am not going to do that. I won't be subjected to an experiment. I thought there are specific medicines for chemo. If there is none, then I don't want to do that. I want a second opinion. So what do you think I should do? Then she said, let's schedule another appointment. So when I came for the second opinion, I went on research. So luckily, I know someone that is a scientist in the US, and he has worked with medical, pharmaceutical companies that produce some of these cancer drugs. I discussed, somebody linked me with him, and I asked. He now said there are no specific medicines for treating cancer. It's just trial and how the body accepts it. But since I'm in doubt, I should ask for a second opinion. I say, yes, I'm trying that, but the doctors are not responding. They think I'm trying to tell them they don't know what they are doing. But that's not the case. But this is my body. I have to decide what happens to my body. It is my right to know what I'm getting myself into. So since they won't answer, I'm going to back out of the hospital. That was how I didn't go back to the hospital again until 2022 before I started my treatments.
So from that 2019, when the doctors talked about surgery to remove the breast and um, chemotherapy that we do that was not specific for
Yes.
breast cancer. You said you were not going to pursue the treatment again and you left
Yes.
till 2022. So between 2019 and 2022, what was going on? How were you coping with the diagnosis? Were you getting any kind of treatment? How was your family life, your social life? Did you inform your family? How were they taking it?
Yes, I did inform my family, just one person, my younger brother. I told him because the family had a wedding event of another brother. So I could not attend the wedding because I was feeling sick and I didn't want the whole family, I didn't want to spoil that time for them. So I only confided in one that this is the reason I'm not going to attend the wedding, but I don't want you to tell anyone in the family. So until after the wedding, I think it was, after some months after the wedding, before the larger family got to know. So at that point, we were like, well, why did you keep it? Why is it you're not on treatment? I said, no, because the doctors are not telling me, they're not answering my questions. And in this age, I cannot subject my body to somebody to use for an experiment for their own advancements in career. So I need to know what exactly I'm getting myself into. And I said, okay, so what do we do? So until 2022, I had to relocate from Lagos because I even went back to the hospital. You won't believe the doctor refused to see me because I will not accept what she is asking. And I insisted on a second opinion. So she didn't give me the attention and they didn't let me have access because in Lut, there is an access code. You can't just enter the doctor's office. There is an access code. So they wouldn't let me see her. They had to even ask the doctor to come out and talk to me. Immediately she came out, she was like, have you paid for the chemo? I said, doctor, I want a second opinion. She frowned, and that was the last time I saw her. So I left. My family now brought me home, and then I was discussing with a friend, and the friend now said, come to National Hospital, you will get treated. I think they are better. I said, okay, that was how I relocated to Abuja. And when I came to Abuja, I met the consultant. She received me warmly, but she was wondering since 2019, why haven't you done any form of treatment? And I told her, I said, I don't want to do surgery. She said, really? So you are concerned about your breast? I said, what is I don't know. I've never done surgery in my life. I've never seen somebody in my family done surgery. So I don't know. Somehow I don't like surgery. I don't like it because even in the kitchen I don't want something knife to even touch my body because like a phobia. So with that, I don't want surgery. She now looked at me and said, okay, it means we are going to use another method of treatment, but it's going to be more expensive. Now, in my thought, I said, bring it on, doctor. By God's grace, I'm going to get it done. So that was when they now checked me, they checked the breast, and then two consultants, one resident and another consultant. So they checked the breast and they said, okay, are you sure you have not been taking anything for how many years and the breast is still like this? You must be doing something. I said, no, I've not done anything. I've not done anything. It's just what it is. She said, okay, they are going to put me on a treatment. It's going to be hormone therapy since the diagnosis is hormonal triggered. I said, okay. That was how we started the hormone therapy. So the hormone therapy lasted for 1 year, 7 months. So after the hormone therapy, she now said it's going to be targeted therapy. Since I don't want surgery, I said fine. So we now changed to targeted therapy. That one lasted for 8 months. Then I started coughing. So at that point, they now said, okay, there's metastasis. It has metastasized to the lungs and the backbone. So I was even told that I may not walk again because of the presence of cancer in the backbone. That I should get prepared. That you just want to prepare me. It's not that it might not be, but I should know in case. I said, okay, no problem. So to God be the glory. We had the hormone therapy, targeted therapy, and then chemotherapy, which I'm on now. So I've done the 5th chemotherapy, still one more to go. So, and the metastasis has reduced from the last CT scan, MRI, and all the other tests. Because after every treatment, you have to go for review. Before they review, you have to run more tests and other ones that might come up to see where we are and how to move forward. So far so good, I'm okay, and I'm not done surgery, and all those treatments have shrunk the breast. It shrunk drastically, and then it took the breast back to a teenager's breast. It's not like, after giving birth, the breast sag because the baby's young. So that one breast is like that, but the one that's affected now became like a new breast, like a teenager growing breast. So that is where we are now. And I'm so lucky there's no wound. There's never been any pause. It's just the lung that got shrunk through the treatment, though it's more expensive than starting with chemo and surgery. And in my course of investigations also, and other things that I need to learn about the surviving with cancer, I discovered that the reason why chemo comes first, then surgery, is because of access to funds. That's the easiest way to start treating cancer for people that cannot afford to start targeted therapy or hormone therapy, because that's more expensive.
So you spoke about getting diagnosed with cancer, about the journey, how long it took you to get a diagnosis because of the healthcare system, the fact that we don't have access. You spoke about finances, and you also spoke about the way the doctor responded in your case. You say, oh, I deserve to be the one to determine what happens to my body. It's still my body. I want to know, even if it's disease, even if I have a sickness, I want to be the one to say, this is what I choose to do and this is what I don't choose to do. What do you think healthcare professionals or even strangers, everybody, what do you think people need to know about the mindset of someone who wakes up one day and discovers that, oh, they have cancer? What do you think they need to understand about what you are going through from an emotional point of view, so that you know how to interact and not, would I say, decide for you because they think that your body is diseased and to carry you along the information that you need. What do you think both strangers and healthcare professionals need to know about the emotional state of someone that is going through something like this?
Yeah, my first target is a health professional. The thing about cancer so far that I know and feel, there is no certain way of treating cancer worldwide for now. Everything is based on experiment, and the reason is because each individual carries a different gene. Even our thumbprints are not the same. So if two people have breast metastasis, a particular stage, even if you treat them with the same medicine, the outcome can never be the same because their genes are different. They are two different people. That is why we use thumbprints, especially at the airport. When you use your thumbprint, another person can never have the same thumbprint as you in the whole world. So that is what cancer is right now. So being a medical professional doesn't mean you know more than the person that is going through the disease, because you yourself, you are not a cancer patient. It is only the patient that can tell you exactly what you are feeling, and then you cannot apply what you have learned in the class. and the experiments and the researches also to help you help the cancer patient. However, when cancer is diagnosed at early stage, one can still have leverage, because at that time I was diagnosed, it was stage 1. So when I did not get it treated, it now came to stage 3. At the time we started treatment, after 1 year, it became stage 4 metastasis. So the longer you stay without treatment, it continues to grow. That is why the professionals too, they need to listen to patients when they are asking questions. Give them questions. Yes, we know that you know more than us when it comes to the study, but we are talking about personal experience at this point. So if I tell you, if you are a doctor and I come to you and say, I'm feeling headache, you as a doctor, you have studied what general headache is, how what people feel, how they feel it, but you don't know the type of headache I am feeling, or the part of head I am feeling it, or how I'm feeling it, except I tell you. And if we have 10 people tell the doctor they are feeling headache, they are in different forms and in different ways. So you cannot apply the type of headache for Mr. A and Mr. B. So that is why the professionals have to listen to us. And even when we are so emotional in saying that we need a second opinion and we listen, they should calm down and understand us. Because I think psychology is a course, one of their major course as a medical uh, student. Psychology works a lot. At that point, the doctor should use psychology to bring down the patient's mind and talk to them calmly. But some of them, they just flare. They say, you know, we are talking to them like we know more than them. No, you have to use psychology at that point.
Oof, this is a lot. I think that we're very honored that you're sharing this with us, with our viewers, with our listeners. And I'm very honored that you're speaking to me about this now, even in my capacity as a medical student. Before we round up, I want to ask you some questions. What would you say from all of this is the hardest part about insurance?
Is there a hard part based on my principle? For me, I can't really pinpoint because I live by the moment and the day. But every day brings a new kind of experience through the journey of cancer, especially when you're on medication. Like today, I woke up feeling sick, but yesterday I was okay, and tomorrow might be different. So with all the side effects of treatment, they don't hit at once. Maybe today it's insomnia. There are days that I can't sleep for 2 days, 2 nights. I won't be able to sleep. I may not be able to sleep for more than 2 hours or even 48 hours. And there are days that I will just sleep throughout. So that is how it is. So you cannot really say this, I can't really say this is the journey that is most difficult, because every day comes with its own unique and peculiar difficulties through the journey. But in the end, I am stronger than cancer because I'm able to go through the day with whatever comes through the day, I go through it that way.
Stronger than cancer, man.
I
One final thing, I want you to look at the camera. And if somebody was diagnosed with breast cancer today, right, what would you want that person to know?
To our viewers out there, thank you for watching and listening to us. The most important thing is not to even get diagnosed with breast cancer. That's the first thing I need to tell you. And it has to do with your healthy living, to live a healthy lifestyle. If you're a woman out there that smoke, I beg you, stop it. If you drink alcohol, please stop it. If you eat junk food, stop it. Go on plant-based food. Cook your food by yourself. I know that sometimes we might be busy that we cannot get to eat well, but there are things at that point you can pick up fruits, healthy fruit, and don't just buy fruit from anywhere you see because of the way they wash. Even if you buy, make sure you wash the fruit properly with salt and vinegar before you consume. Don't just buy fruit on the street because you're hungry and then you just consume it. The most important thing is a healthy lifestyle. When you live a healthy lifestyle, you build your immune system. The reason why some of us are going through cancer is because our immune system was compromised. So it couldn't stand to fight it. And then we get hit by cancer. But if your immune system is very strong and active, even when the cancer is looking for where to hit, it cannot stay because it's like the immune system is a wall against disease, so it will hit it back and then you can just detoxify your body with it. You may not even know those detox system that goes on in your body even at that time because your immunity is strong. It will hold it. But then when diagnosed with breast cancer, my first advice is don't fear. Do not be afraid and be positive. Just accept it, because most people, when they say they have cancer, they don't accept it. The first thing they will say, God forbid, it is not me. No, it's not that way. You have to accept it. Once the results are out, the result is out, you see that it is cancer, you can go on your knees and say, God, you have brought this before me and I know you are going to see me too. Don't deny it, because when you live in denial, you cause more harm to yourself. And another thing is that I discovered through this journey is that when they say breast cancer, most women that are afraid, the first thing they do, they just go and cut the breast. Cutting the breast does not stop the cancer. You have to get to the root of it by treating it first. Don't just go and listen to somebody and then you cut your breast and say you cut. Even when you cut it, the cancer is still there. So cutting does not cure cancer. Cutting the breast does not remove cancer. It is the treatment that does it first. Then you may decide later if you want to cut it. And if you must cut your breast, please let it be by a breast surgeon. Because we have many quacks out there. I know most women that have died from breast cancer, it's not because of the cancer, but because of the surgery that was done by the wrong people. There are people that are supposed to cut the breast are breast surgeons. It's not just a surgeon. Somebody that is a gynecologist, maybe those that do CS, cesarean operation, they are not qualified to cut your breast because they are not surgeons, they are not breast surgeons. They have their own class of activities they do when it comes to surgery. And just because somebody is a general surgeon is not qualified to cut your breast, make sure it is a breast surgeon. And I'm using this also to plead with the government of Nigeria. We need a list of breast surgeons in the country, because when we go online to search for who are the qualified breast surgeons, we don't get the list. There are no public information about them. So many women just fall into the wrong hands. And I know women also that did surgery in Nigeria, and when they went to I think London, I know about few women that went to London, the surgery that was done in Nigeria was disqualified. They had to start the surgery all over again, because when they do the surgery, they did not scrape the cancer from around the breast, so the cancer will now come back like 7 times and hit. And when cancer comes back that way, the next thing is you hear the person is no more. So please, do not let anybody cut your breast except a breast surgeon, and it must be with the supervision of an oncology. It must be the oncology that will tell you this is the person, this is when they will cut the breast. I know a woman that saw a lump in her breast. The next thing, they cut the breast. They never did any type of test for that long. They removed 2 breasts. They didn't do the histology. They did not take the lump to the lab. So at this point, we don't even know whether she had cancer or not. I want to also use this opportunity to talk to the young women, young ladies out there that are yet to be married. It's a known thing now that women are under pressure when they get married. If they cannot have children starting from the first year, you see in-laws, they start disturbing, we need a child, especially the mother-in-law, we need a child, I need grandchildren and all those things. And many girls have been forced to look for fertility products out there that they sell online. You see many types of fertility products. They will tell you you can get pregnant at this, you take this, you can get pregnant. Those things also cause breast cancer. I want you to know fertility products causes breast cancer. I know 2 girls that have passed on, one age 27, another one age 29. After 2 years of marriage, they were under pressure to have children, and they started taking this particular fertility product. They got online. After some months, they developed ovarian cysts. The ovarian cysts became breast cancer. They are no more. The man will go ahead and marry another woman, but they are no more. So be careful with the type of fertility product. If you must take fertility product, please use the hospital. Don't just buy anything online and start taking because they say you can get pregnant. Go to the doctors in the go to hospital, register in the gynae clinic, talk to gynecologists, professionals. They put you on therapy that can get you pregnant. So don't just take anything, because when you do that, you disrupt your hormones. And most breast cancers are hormonal triggered. It's hormones, when the hormones are misplaced. And there are instances where women also get breast cancer when they are pregnant. That was what happened to me. The lump, I got it when I was pregnant, but I didn't know then. It was because my hormone was imbalanced. So it now triggered it. So, and stress can also cause hormonal imbalance. So don't stress yourself. When you get married and they are stressing, you must give us a child, give us a child, you must give us a child. At this point, we should start thinking in this world that not everybody has come to this world to have a child. Just like not everybody has come to be rich. If all of us cannot be rich, why should all of us have children? It's not a must. It's a design by nature and from God. If you have children, fine. If you don't have children, good. You can still adopt. If you have people in your family that have children, take from them and train them. And you can call them your children. So don't stress yourself that you want to get children, and then you now start taking herbs and taking all those things they are talking about it will now damage your immunity and cause hormonal changes. Those hormonal changes will now lead to cancer. We are just talking about breast cancer. There are other things, other cancers. We have vaginal cancer. We have the cervical cancer. We have the cancer of the vulva. All these things are about fertility. We have fallopian tubes there also that can even go wrong and be infected with cancer. So everything about fertility, be careful. If you are not there, the man will still marry another woman. And if you don't have a child, it's not a problem. It is called destiny. So accept it that way. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you for sharing this journey with us. I think I want to give you
a clap for myself.
Thank you, and I wish you ease and more, I wish you a cancer-free future. And I wish you a lighter journey. And I hope that your last chemo goes well. And I hope to talk to you when you're cancer-free. Very much. Thank you very much, Ma, for honoring us and sharing the story with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I really hope that you did enjoy it. And if you did, don't forget to share. And remember that whatever season you are in your life, whether it's sweet or sour, never give up on yourself. Until next time, sweetie. Bye.